Alrighty, well, welcome back. Right, let's see if we can make this one a quick one, eh? As you'll have noticed, I issued the first act of public. I've sent off 3 letters, and it's just generally the will of other people. It's not a success or fail story. It is literally just, well, at the end of the day, I understand what's going on. In a manner of speaking, I actually accept what's going on as well. When in actual fact we've got is an immovable force and an indestructible force. Right? So the upshot of it all is they're adamant on wanting to do it themselves, in spite of the fact of attempting to call general elections, which flies in the face of it all. It does. See, the problem you've got, or anybody's got, is if this ends up being a hung parliament, because this vast divide that's being created because of the political upheaval, indecision, and too many opinions in one place, uncertainty, fear of loss, and so on and so on and so forth. Yeah. In a manner of speaking, you're trying to swing and flail to try and find a way of maintaining control and getting best options. When in actual fact, you're being presented with best options, but they're not your own. It's kind of problematic in a way for you, because you never came up with them. You want to do it yourself because at the end of the day, then you get the credit for all, which then emboldens your pie. So, when you look at the whole political strategy, and you look at the shift and movement within the environment, it kind of shows you what they're taught, or what they're being taught, or what they have been taught. Yeah, it does. So, it kind of gives you then an idea as to which direction things are going to shift in. The upshot of it all is it's out of my control. It's for them to deal with. And that is. The upshot of it all is it always has been. All of these little elements are there to encourage the flow forward towards achieving the will of the people, let's just say. And anyway, achieving or otherwise ensuring that their job, or the job that they're assigned to do, is done. And there it is. If something comes of it, then I'd be a little sceptical of it, to be perfectly honest with you, that it will go through, because again of the dynamics of it all. But I'll be rather, well, let's just say, ready for it, if indeed it comes through rubber stamped. Naturally speaking, timings will have to be changed. I'm flexible with timings. At the end of the day, that's what comes from. Well, an indestructible force understands the environment on which it's in. Therefore, time is no more than just simply a friend. It's man-made to that extent, but nonetheless, it's part of it all. And there it is. All of this, so much so, amounts up to, well, it just goes to show, doesn't it, really? When you look at the news, you can see generally what's going on. which all leads to effectively Who, within Shadow Crown's Flipboard magazine, down to the two latest ones that I've placed in there. France's frustration, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people now are feeling the Brexit fatigue. Yeah? And the other one, MPs push for law threatening jail for British citizens who undermine the Brexit process or negotiations. Incidentally, the point of that piece of news is aimed primarily at MPs, those who have access to this whole process and are working against it or otherwise trying to destabilize it or falsify presenting a case which, by the time you're finished, goes against a majority decision. I have noticed, even within the wider realms of other social media, that people are progressively coming to understand that, yeah, money doesn't buy the results, doesn't always buy the results that you want. And it doesn't. Some things you have to allow to unravel on their own. And you do. That's when you'll get your answers as to which direction they're going, and then be able to invest, whether it's money or whether it's time or whatever, into ensuring a ball keeps moving. Yeah. So I've done my part. People are progressively doing their part, getting frustrated at the same time. It's just waiting on individuals to sort their acts out. So it will become a political contest when in actual fact all parties are charged with the same responsibility to enact the will of the people, irrespective of what each constituent part has actually voted in themselves. Yeah? There you go. There isn't much for me to say on the matter, because at the end of the day I'll only be reiterating what's already been said. Yeah, I will be. Show my disappointment towards some things? Yes. I accept the fact that this may not go through, but it's not a failure of my own doing, of my own making, is it? Sometimes I just have to accept the fact there are some things that I can't, well, control. Within that, it shows you effectively what is going on and who's responsible for what. It's there, isn't it? It's evident. Mm-hmm. So, everything's been done. It's just allowing things to unfold. I'm a little reluctant to say this next part, for which I'm going to finish on. My map again. Interestingly enough, about a week and a half, 2 weeks at the most, as most people who work in the realms of metaphysics knows, that also in various meditation or dream or meditation states, that no matter how they present themselves, it always and generally bears a sense of meaning towards that individual and what goes on in their life. However, on occasions, it's not necessarily about that individual. It's about the environment that they're actually within. On this particular occasion, removing some of the cryptic element of it all, is one morning I was actually visited quite quickly by a fog, but left as quick as it came. That's why I know it wasn't about me. Not me particularly anyway, and not in my immediate environment. But it left as quick as it came. And its message was, war is coming. Ooh, dum dum dum. Seriously though, I kid you not. It came and it left rather quickly saying war is coming. And to that it's kind of like, wow, okay. It will explain a lot of things. It will, of what's going on within certain territories. I did say to you right at the beginning of all of this, sometimes you cannot prevent the inevitable. All you can do is prepare for it. Yeah? Poor planning and preparation produces poor performance. Yeah? I said it right from the get. I was a little bit more coarse in the beginning. I've taken one or two of the P's out. But yeah, it makes absolute sense. It's something that I was saying to you before, and it's something that has been brought back up, as in it's the fog of war is descending. And it is. It's not global, although it will have a global impact, more politically and economically, and will involve a lot of people in that region. One final word on that one. To go into it any further is not ethical. I want to cause alarm. I just wanted to update you on certain incoming information, for which I'm always appreciated for. It allows me to gain a good perspective on what's going on in the world and hopefully better advise. But again, there are some things that I can't say here. This is why the effort is being placed into other areas in order to, well, release me from my ties, so to speak, so I can better advise in the right areas. Yeah. Just one of those things at the end of the day. There you go, there you have it. Short and to the point. Something is happening in the background when it comes down to the movement of military units, and the other side of it all is just simply down to the politicians or the people who I actually sent the letters to. It's kind of up to them. They are within themselves or identified themselves as being the highest ranking folk that have the rule and responsibility to act accordingly. Yeah. I'm of no threat to anybody. You're more of a, as I said from the beginning, you're more of a threat to me, as in the politicians and whatnot, and various other avenues. You're more of a threat to me than I am to you. The only threat that I pose to you is change. For the better. So, there you go. There you have it. We're done. Alright. 15 minutes content. It's got to be a record for us, isn't it? From my point of view, it's just I have to allow things to unravel naturally. Yeah? If you want these things to work in the way that's being presented, you've all had the information, the 17th of January letter, which has the breakdown in it all. You have the letters, you have the first act of public, you have my standpoint, you know who I am, what I'm about, how things work, the fact that a lot of stuff that I've actually presented all can come to fruition and bear results not only for the UK but for varying other states, or rather let's just say for the EU as well. It does. It's all there. Everything that you'll ever need is there, and this whole thing is progressively drawing its conclusion. Right? It will then lead into something else. No doubt. Right. You enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for coming back for this short one, and I will be back again soon.